Are we getting a PowerPoint presentation? Yes. If I take care of a chicken, does that make you a chicken tender? You know, gee, maybe this is a different question, but is your spider monster being fairly compensated? Now we enter the portion I have promised to do for quite some time. Ergonomics for streamers. Good tips for how to basically get yourself a good setup for streaming for an extended duration. The first things first, no gamer chairs. Seriously, no. None of these, bad. And you might be saying, but why? And the reason why is ergonomics, streaming, and you. Behold, I am your Captain America. The fundamental is they don't do anything that you need them to do. And for some people, this might be the first time they've heard about ergonomics. The first point that I'll say is, why should you care? Well, if you're streaming and gaming, it's often an extended duration. Most people don't take enough breaks. They don't stretch, and if they do, it's less than 20 minutes, and you're competing your attention. Are we getting a PowerPoint presentation? Yes. About ergonomics. Don't worry, Kiki, it'll include some crash out. But yes, you're playing a game, you've got a bunch of technology, you got stuff all around you, you got cameras, VTubers, we have things like iPhones for tracking. There's a lot of stuff going on. But you're also trying to stay where your camera is. You're adapting to like a challenge if you're one of those people that plays with a controller that's not like a controller. Maybe it's not good for your hands, or you're playing blindfolded or whatever else. But also, stuff is expensive. You're usually in a mixed-use space, like I'm in my bedroom. But also, streaming is a hobby that you like, in addition to things that you're working, you're at a desk, or sometimes you work a desk job outside of it, and therefore you are combining that risk. Why else should you care? You have one body. You only get one. And now you may ask, but Tyro, what is ergonomics? What are they really? Ergonomics, in short, is really about what you're preventing, right? Repetitive strain injuries, stress disorders, cumulative trauma disorders, sports overuse syndromes. They're all the same thing for the same type of injury. The U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration calls these musculoskeletal disorders. Yay! Not yay. How can you get an injury from playing video games at a computer? It's not about playing the games part, but it's your body. And negligence can lead to permanent damage. You dense motherfucker. And yes, we do have memes like it's 2014. I can't help it. I can't help it. You may also ask, but Tyro, like what can we do? Ergonomic treatments are kind of a few things, right? They can consist of things like equipment, like a chair, desk, your computer, that's both your monitor, keyboard and mouse, anything else that you're using, controllers, stream decks, microphones, cameras, anything that you're streaming with is part of your equipment. But also your habits, your posture, your layout, managing your health outside of streaming, and getting equipment and using it properly. Everything that you should be using, you should have within easy reach. If you're a VTuber and you need to turn on a toggle, you need it close at hand, right? Whether that's your keyboard or a stream deck, you don't want to have to lean over or move too far every time you do that if it's something you're doing all the time. But Tyro, the chair listing on Amazon said ergonomic, and my favorite streamer pushed this brand that they have a sponsorship from. 100% of marketing is bullshit. Just because something says that it's ergonomic, or that it's good for you, or that it's even remotely what you need, is not the case. Quite frankly, most things that are going to call themselves ergonomic are really actually targeting you when you are starting to realize, oh, after sitting in one spot for 8 hours, my back kind of hurts. I should get an ergonomic thing. And you're going to go to Amazon or an office supply store, and they're going to sell you an ergonomic chair that, quite frankly, looks almost exactly like this, just with less racing stripes. So, let's start with the basics. Desks, computers, space management. The final frontier. The best way to start and set yourself up ergonomically is to clear off your entire desk. I'm not even kidding. Everything. If you don't have a crazy desk like I do... Whoa, we're getting a Percy raid in the middle of my PowerPoint presentation. We're talking about ergonomics and how to sit at a desk for several hours and not hurt yourself. But yeah, so if you're setting up your desk to be ergonomic, you want to clear off your entire desk and start from scratch. If you don't have a lot on your desk, this might be easier. I am a piler, I make piles of everything around me, and I have ADHD, so I forget to clean up those piles. It can be a problem. So I usually have to fully clear off my desk if I'm actually changing something, or it just does not work. Sometimes you can put stuff, you know, on another table, the floor, your bed, whatever, to just visualize it. But generally, you want the things you're going to be using the most within your comfortable reach range. So that should be your monitors, keyboard, mouse, and essential key system components. You need those, obviously. You need the computer to stream, you need it to play games, whatever. Everything that you need to touch should be within a position where you don't have to... Oh, thank you for that head bat. What you're putting on your desk should be your priorities first, and then you build out from there. Like, if you... Let's say you have a Stream Deck or a tertiary controller, and you basically never use them, but they're right within your normal reach range, you might as well just move it so that it can make a better space for something else. Now, from the desk, you might go, but Tyro, my microphone, my camera, my ring light, my Labubu, my waifu figurine, my stream technology. Oh my god, stop. Just chill. Just chill. We're gonna talk about monitors, or how I learned to stop slouching and unshrimp my spine. But when you're setting up your monitor on your desk, and this is something that I bet most of you are probably not doing, your monitor should be about an arm's length away from where you sit. So if you hold it out, you really shouldn't, you should just barely be touching it. But Tyro, my collection of empty bottles and cans. No, get rid of those. Those aren't important. You don't need those, Oz. You don't need them. Please, you don't. I'm begging. But Tyro, my milkshake. Well, okay, milkshakes are important. Those gotta be close. Those gotta be nearby. I'll give you that one. But your monitors should be raised up. How do you lick your monitor? How often do you lick your monitor? That's the important question. Well, we'll get to that. But your eyes should rest at the top quarter or third of the screen, give or take. And that's from a natural position. You shouldn't have to, like, crane your head back or look up. You should just naturally be able to do that. And the reason for that is our eyes can look further down, right? If I'm looking down, than they can up. Tongue extensions. But what about my wacky, waving, inflatable, arm flailing tube man? Leave that at the used car lot where you found it. But the entire screen, really, you should be able to look at without moving your eyes. Now, if you have a second monitor, we'll get to that. But your neck and spine can be straight vertical. Just straight up and down. You should just be able to sit. From there, though, if you have two monitors, right? You should have one directly in front of you, so that you are looking at it straight on and at the height consistency, and you should have the other one off to the side. In my lovely picture examples here, you can see, kind of hard to see at this size, but the one on the left, where you're sitting, you're staring directly at the middle of the bezels between the two screens. That's not helping you. Because then you have to crane your neck one direction or the other just to see either monitor. Screens that you use infrequently can pretty much be put wherever you want, right? If you want to go full command center, that's your deal. But if you're looking at it regularly or working off of them, just consider how you're looking at them. If the sizes are different, align them as the best that you can so that the top of the monitor falls within your gaze. If there's one thing that you take away from this section, I'm begging you all, put your monitors so that you are not staring down at them or looking up at them. Your monitor should sit so you can just look at it. Mission control setup. Oh no. This is dog for it. But yeah, you can put them how you work, and I'll also get something else in here at the end, but you'll have to wait, you have to be a little patient. You have a spider monster, hold your monitor from the ceiling so you can look while you lean back. Is there an issue with that? Long term, yes. Your spine is not getting the muscle workout, and it's going to atrophy. If you're laying back and like reclining and leaning all the time, you're not going to have a great time. It'll feel great in the moment, though. It'll be like being in a recliner. And then your other crap. I don't really care what all you need. That's kind of on you. But you put that all back in again. Now, this is actually the same picture from the other slide. But you notice how they have all their stuff like positioned very nice and neat so they can reach for it, do all that. And Carthrace is a good point too. What about the Spider Monster's ergonomics? Does it get regular breaks? Is it being allowed to stretch? You know, gee, maybe this is a different question, but is your spider monster being fairly compensated? All great things to wonder. But add things back in the order of importance if you did clear off your whole desk. Even better if you can just remove things entirely, like your empty cans and bottles, or your empty martini glass, or your spider monster. But yes, if you can leave things off your desk that you don't need, then it gives you more room to engage with your hobby, to stream, etc. The way that I kind of do it is being thrown isn't good for your bones. No, but luckily, MisfitWorks makes very durable models. I'm just built different, I'm afraid. We have ads coming. Ow. I should note that kitchen skillets are also not very ergonomic for the off. But Tyro, my cookies! We'll get there. So, if you're trying to decide what you're doing, then what you should do is, if you're using it regularly, put it where you can reach it. If you use it every single time, constantly, like a Stream Deck, it should be reachable. It should be within your grasp. If you basically never use it, maybe consider getting it off your desk. It's just kind of taking up space and hurting you. And then you're gonna ask me, but Tyro, wasn't this about chairs? Wasn't this about gamer chairs? And I'll say be patient, I'm getting there. Now, where your ass goes, aka why you're here. I'm sure you're wondering, do I need a super fancy, expensive chair? No, not really. Any price, any style, as long as it allows you in your existing physical form to have good ergonomics, which is, quite frankly, just not be in pain. But Tyro, wasn't this about chairs? Alright, what to look for in a chair. Now, I have links in here from when I sent this to Harv and when I sent this to Moth, but some people will say, you know, oh, you should get a Herman Miller Aeron, or you should get these other things. Also, welcome in, Penguin! But you don't need commercial furniture. And hopefully, by the time we're done with this, you can understand why a simple chair is better than one or the other. You're jumping around streams and asking streamers a very important and deep question that you need an answer for. You won't be able to sleep tonight. If I take care of a chicken, does that make you a chicken tender? No, it makes you a farmer. Boom. Got him. So those of you who are aware of ergonomics may already kind of see the differences between these chairs. Chair B is our good low-budget IKEA chair. Chair C is not as good. And it's actually more expensive. But Tyro, wasn't this about chairs? Yes. How your ass goes is the next question. This is an ancient diagram from the Library of Congress, as in circa 1991. This is accessed from an archive long time ago. But ergonomics, largely, is about right angle. Your feet should touch the floor or a footrest stably. The back of your leg should be, like your calf, should be a couple inches or a few centimeters away from the seat. Your knees and hips and spine should all be at right angles. And your arms should be at a right angle from your sides or rest on your armrests. You love sitting in a spot where your spine meets your pelvis, you have a lot of snake butt to account for. That's also a good thing. You need an angle thing so you can make sure you're hitting those 90 degrees. Doesn't need to be perfect, just generally. Now something that I did mention here is that, you know, you want your hands over a keyboard placed at the edge of the desk without applying pressure. It used to be the common fashion, you can see where there's a wrist rest. Generally, that's not recommended ergonomics because people just start pushing things. We kind of skipped over desks and how high to put your desk. Now, obviously, this image you can see is quite dated, given the CRT monitor, except it was actually just an all-in-one, the very old style, like your Apple II era. So, as far as your desk, this is going to vary, right? Sit-stand desks are their own thing, but around 29.5 inches or 75 centimeters off of the floor is probably a good range. Just enough so that you're not going up or down. But yes, wrist rests and mouse pads aren't typically necessary, but if you don't have good habits, it might prevent you from damage. It's a good thing to do. And your keyboard tray can be useful just as getting stuff to the heights and balancing out, but they aren't giving you anything that your desk at a different height won't do. And then you're gonna again go, but Tyro, wasn't this about chairs? Because I know you are. I know you will. And finally, we're going to get to what makes a good chair, the main event. Try before you buy. Sit down in it and roll around. Slouch. Mess with levers and buttons. You need to know what's going to help you keep that good posture. Height adjustment is essential. Some chairs give you a range of heights for the user, some don't, and some of them aren't tall enough for if you are like 6.5 feet tall, you need a different chair than someone who is 4.5 feet. You have a wrist rest because your desk has 90-degree corners that hurts? Sounds like you might be putting a little bit too much pressure. The main thing you learned so far is how to say "but Tyro" convincingly. Then you'll fit in well here. Back support is also good. Something to support your spine because everyone is different. Adjustable is good because if it's fixed and it feels good today, it may not feel good tomorrow or in 3 years or in 6 years. Also ideal is the ability to adjust your lumbar specifically or your seat depth. Things that are user choice but are also good to have are armrests, things that are height adjustable. Ideally, they can rotate and move in 4 dimensions. Also good, depending on your height, you could enjoy like a headrest or a tilt lock. But Tyro, chairs are expensive. Yeah, chairs are expensive. The good news is you can assess your needs and kind of upgrade as time goes on. The long and the short is you can buy like a less than $100 chair and be good. If you're in America, look for liquidation sales for businesses, nonprofits, and governments. Universities like public land-grant universities that are quite prolific in the United States often sell surplus goods to the public to avoid the landfill. Some commercial grades can be replaced with simple hand tools and YouTube, meaning that you can buy and repair some chairs for less than the price of going to a Staples or another office store, which means you're saving money and getting a better quality good. Some companies that sell parts will also refurbish and resell furniture, which is kind of a happy medium, but Tyro, I opened my purse and a fly flew out. So I'll go ahead and say my chair cost me $15. I have replaced a bunch of parts on it to make it work better, but it worked fine when I bought it. $15. That's the long and the short of it. You say, but Tyro, what if I like to sit weird? You're fucked. Nah, I imagine. For the L-weebs and bisexuals, let's keep going. What to do when you don't follow the best practice. It's very simple. Ergonomics is 2 parts, equipments and habits. If your habits are imperfect, this will help you see what you need and how to set yourself up for success. At the end of the day, they're best practices. You can take them or leave them as it suits you. Don't focus on perfection, don't focus on comfort. Focus on meeting your needs and preventing discomfort and pain. So I bought a chair, I'm set, I'm all done, right? But yes, so now that you bought a chair, you're set, you're done, right? No. You get to do it all over again. You get to start at the beginning. Seriously, you have to just keep doing it. Did you change something? Did you move your desk? Did you buy a new piece of equipment? Did you get a new desk? Did you get a new computer? Are you having new pain or old pain that's resurfacing? You gotta check it again. Reassess, triple check. Hopefully, as you go, you can make minor adjustments, adjust your chair, adjust your desk, move things around, and not do a full reset every time. But it never hurts to do a full update when you feel you can do better. And remember, only you can prevent streamers on the Barbie from shrimping. And if you have questions, ask somebody that you know. Now go sit on a bunch of chairs and find the right one. But before we're done, we're going to look at this gamer chair again. So why not? What's wrong with it? Hey, that's my chair? Jen, no! Jen, no! Why is this bad? It has a fixed backrest. We talked about that, right? You can't adjust that if you're a different height. It's very tall. Where's the lumbar support? If you're a tall person or a short person, your spine is going to need support at different levels in different areas. It has a fixed seat depth. If you have really short legs or really long legs, this may not work for you. And actually, I think this would only work for somebody with really long legs. Wide armrests, which are good maybe if you have a controller, but otherwise they're not great. And it's overpriced. This stuff's usually $200, $300. cheaply made, no features, and cost the same as something that you could get from an IKEA or a Staples that's better than other things. So, don't. Get rid of them. They're awful. And that, my friends, is Ergonomics for streamers. You survived. And maybe you learned something, even if that something is just how to say, but Tyro. Now, what I will say is I have an addendum to this that I wasn't planning on doing, because I really am passionate about this, because no one should hurt. Just outright. And if you can do something to fix it and I can help you, that makes me really happy.